Hi everybody, this is Ginger and this is Ginger's Chat Show, and I hope all is well with you and you had a good weekend. Some really kind of had a stormy weekend. Midwest was really getting clobbered. Um, I have cousins that live in Missouri area, and so they're kind of having fun over there. Um, Here it's not too bad. It was warm. I mean, we had a couple of low 80s, but it wasn't really that bad. Um, which is good. So anyway, this again will be like a 15-minute podcast because I got a whole bunch of other stuff that I need to do. You know, it's always ongoing. It's always something. Um, Today we'll discuss a little bit about McConnell, the mystery of McConnell. Uh, they claim that he was released from rehab and he went home. Well, my question is, where's the live video? Normally, politicians like to be seen, okay? They like to show their constituents, hey, we're alive and kicking and we're doing our job. Now, there are some politicians that don't. And I think McConnell is being too private, okay? He supposedly worked for the constituents of Kentucky, right? Um, and all this secrecy, and he hasn't been seen since June 14th. It's been 3 months, or close to 3 months now. Today's August 10th, so Friday be the 3 month mark. Um, why are they keep hiding him? Is he really alive? Okay. Because when they showed him in the ambulance, there was really, you could tell by the first responders there that they were not really in a hurry to get him to the hospital. Uh, it kind of showed the indication that he may have died, okay, or they didn't get to him in time. So anytime there's a heart attack, like a major heart attack, they have what they call the golden hour. Um, in order to get the person there in time and get him oxygen and everything else, and you know, help him recover. But if you don't, and 10 minutes, 8 minutes gets by, passes by, that person's pretty much gone. Um, I've seen what a heart attack can do. Uh, my dad, what they didn't realize in 1969, he had a stroke, okay? But they didn't realize at the same time as having a stroke, he was having a heart attack at the same time. Of course, back in the 60s, they were still learning how things work, how the heart works, how the brain works, how things react to everything. And they were still learning, okay? And in strokes, how they're doing. Sure, there's always going to be mistakes made when trying treating a person, but you're still trying to gain knowledge as to how and why, what works and what doesn't work. In McConnell's case, there nowadays our medical procedures are very advanced, okay? But you still have to have the golden hour to help that person. So, really, my big question is to the staffers, is McConnell really alive? If he is, show proof. Don't show an AI version of the photo. Show proof, like a video, you know. Um, Invite one uh, news corporate or news correspondent, invite him in, do a interview to show that he's alive. Okay, they can't keep doing this particular action forever. They have to show that he is really alive. Hi, Dorothy. And if he's not alive and they're still collecting paychecks, that's considered time fraud. Okay? So Congress needs to investigate this, and they need to be truthful. They need to be for transparency. That's what they really need to do. This is the weirdest case I've ever seen or heard of. Because, like I said on Friday, when we lose senators or House of Representatives, where they die through an accident or they die of natural causes, the staff automatically reports this to the state's governor. State's governor turns around and appoints a new representative so the state can continue to be represented. Okay? Right now, Kentucky's not really being represented, which is hard on them. And they keep getting the same excuse over and over and over again by McConnell's staff. I think Governor Beshear needs to put his foot down and say, okay, I'm going to appoint somebody. I don't care if that person's Republican or Democrat. If I put a Democrat in there, so what? Kentucky needs its representation, no matter what. And McConnell's not all that well liked. Okay? Quite a few of the Senate in there don't like him. They never have. McConnell's caused a lot of problems. He really has. Now, South Carolina, they lost Lindsey Graham. He died last month. The governor there automatically appointed, of course, Lindsey Graham's sister into this. But she is not following her brother's policies. She's creating her own and doing her own, which is a smart thing to do. Now, on to this other little international thing. Supposedly, I heard this from Fair and Balanced this morning, or Fair and Cousins of Fair and Balanced. There was a statement that Trump invaded Greenland. Well, you cannot invade a sovereign territory that belongs to another country. That's the allies. Well, my attitude is, where's the information? Where's the pictures? Where's this? And when I went checked on YouTube, normally this is big news. There's nothing in there about it. So I kind of wonder if Trump is doing it in his mind. Not literally doing it in invasion. Just doing it in his mind. Trump needs to be removed from office. Like now. Not down the road. Now. Congress needs to stop playing around. Invoke the 25th Amendment, do an impeachment, then do a snapshot election to get a new president or appoint a new president. Because we need strong representation in government executive office. Now, another thing that's occurred, the appeals court told Trump no on the ballroom. Case was dropped. And case was denied. And I agreed with that. Trump does not have the authority to tear down the East Wing. If he wanted to remodel it or something, then he has to go through proper procedures to get it remodeled. Okay. Uh, from what I understand, when they did tear it down, there was a lot of asbestos in there, uh, which is kind of bad for everybody. You don't want to breathe that stuff, believe me. So, um, in Trump's case, I think he's doing the invasion of Greenland in his mind. I don't think it really happened. Because I'm pretty sure the Joint Chiefs and everything else are going to tell him, no, you can't invade a small, you cannot invade a sovereign territory that belongs to another country. Can't do that with our allies. No, that's against the NATO policy. And Trump needs to learn the word no. He doesn't like hearing it. Well, that's just too bad. He just needs to grow up. Or resign. Now, another thing that brings me to, we need to push back and keep pushing back. Keep pushing on that subject. Keep pushing on Congress and say, simple majority on voting. Stop this 60% rule. Simple majority on voting. Do your impeachment. Get Trump out of office and get professional people in the executive office. Get rid of Miller. Miller's been causing 3/4 of the problems. Okay? I don't like that pissy brat. He's an idiot. Even his own father and his own uncle said he's always been a spoiled brat. When he's been told no, he goes into a hissy fit. Same way with Trump, he goes into hissy fit when he's told no. So, we need to keep pushing back. And pushing hard on this. Because we need to solve our problems. Because right now, almost 3/4 of the world's on fire. Almost literally. Because of the wildfires that are happening in California, up here in Washington State, up in Canada, 26 states is up here in Washington State to help fight the wildfire. And to those 26 states, thank you. That's what neighbors are for. That's what friends are for. We're supposed to help each other. And of course, we need to push back. Now, another thing in the news that's causing problems is transportation, I guess, in trains. I don't know if you heard or not, but there was a building fire of a high-rise in California. No, not California, it was Portland, Oregon. Well, the main Amtrak train goes through that area. They had to shut that track down and send no train transportation until we get the building issue fixed. So that building caught on fire and it's very, very unstable. They got to figure out a way of knocking it down, demolishing it safely. Okay. So I don't know if they come up with anything yet on it. They just don't want the building to go down in the most inopportune time when the train's going through, especially Amtrak. Same way with freight. You don't want anything to come through on freight. So they're working that problem in Portland, Oregon. California is dealing with their brush fires. Again, I feel sorry for those guys, I really do. Spokane, those guys really got nailed in Spokane. A lot of homes were lost. So far, nobody was killed. They got all the animals out. Um, it's really sad. They said now that fire was caused by arson. So, other than that, I hope all is well with you. I will see you. Let's see. Let me check something. Let me check my calendar. Um, okay, I should be back in time on Friday to do my Friday show. I have a ear appointment that morning because see, an ear, nose, and throat specialist see what to do about this ringing in my ear. Uh, I did see go. My friend did take me to see my audiologist, and he ran a more extensive test on my ear, left ear. He said doing a weird thing is sitting there fluctuating on this ear, up and down, up and down, up and down. And he said that shouldn't be happening. Okay, so he wrote a note to my uh, primary doctor in the ENT office to let him know, and then I would also give them information on the hearing test on that. What happened was they can't send it by fax machine because they had to switch all their. This is my audiologist's office. Had to switch to a new system, and the new system screwed up their fax machine. So they can't really receive, or send anything until they get it fixed. You know, it's always something, right? When you switch to a new system and there's a learning curve, and you know how that goes. So, anyway, I will keep an eye on stuff and gather whatever information we could talk about, even the small stuff. Because I believe everything's connected together. It really is. One thing does affect the other. So, anyway, I will see you on Friday. If anything changes, I will let you know. Oh, and I'm up to 71 subscribers. I need more subscribers. I'd like to get up to at least 2,000 subscribers if I can. I'd like to get it way up there. Okay? I'll talk to you later. Love to all. See you later. Bye-bye.